Hello everyone, I am Varun Agarwal, Senior Associate Editor at ETCIO, and I welcome you all to this topical discussion around digital transformation. Enterprises are looking to digitally transform themselves, leveraging power of digital technologies. While the pandemic brought businesses to a pause, it paradoxically played the role of a catalyst for digital transformation. To throw more light on the digital transformation landscape in the country and the way forward, we have with us a very special guest. Please welcome Mr. Vijay K. Thadani, who is the Vice Chairman and MD at NIIT Limited, and also the co-founder of NIT University. He's also the co-chair at CII Tata Communications Centre for Digital Transformation. Welcome, Mr. Thadani.
Thank you, Varun.
Mr. Thadani, when we look back around the time when the pandemic really started, in April, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said, we have seen 2 years of digital transformation in just 2 months. Now, being an industry stalwart yourself, how do you see this pandemic driving unprecedented digital transformation across enterprises?
So, first of all, I think what Satya Nadella said is actually so true, and it may even be more faster than what he may have said. The impact has been very, very unprecedented, and I think in the first 10 or 15 days, to me, the major change which happened in people's mindset is we've been talking about digital transformation at the center of digital transformation for now 3 years. Okay, and before that, all our working careers, that's what we've been talking about. But in those 15 days, the following things happened. Before pandemic, we had a few early adopters, who I call the eager beavers. And then there were some naysayers who said, sorry, not for me, thanks, but no thanks, and non-believers. And the third very large population, which were fence sitters, because they were seeing the benefits which early adopters got, but were not sure whether it was cut out for them or not. I think in 15 days, that argument went behind completely. Everybody is a strong believer. Everybody. I don't think now you hear, no, digital transformation is not for me. People also understood that digital transformation is different from being digitized, digitalized, or digital transformation is when everything gets transformed. So work from home. Work from home is not using a computer at the workplace. It is actually a new way of living now, a new way of working. Study from home, shop from home, get treated from home. All these 4 were new experiences which resulted in new business models. And the good news is in this 4 or 5 months, people saw the benefits as well as the issues which laggards had who did not adopt it well in time. Okay, there is an old saying, never let a crisis go waste, right? Many people have said it, so I'm not going to say who said it this time. What is very important is, in this case, the human ingenuity really worked very, very well. And when I refer to human ingenuity, I always look around to my fellow Indians. How people have adopted digital technologies to change their lives is amazing, absolutely amazing. I could give you examples of that. We realize there are new ways of living now. There are new ways of working. We realize our productivity levels actually can go up instead of going down. We were first worried about the fact whether productivity will remain the same. They've gone up. An unexpected benefit is reduced pollution. I mean, pollution levels came down to, I could see the stars in the skies from my house, which was amazing. In Delhi, it is a long time since that happened. We found new ways of reaching new customers. Again, very, very interesting positives which came out of that. Zoom, Teams, and Meet, they were all English words from English dictionary who had English meanings. They have a new meaning now, right? Swiggy, Amazon, and Paytm are new additions to the dictionary now, right? So you can see that the impact on the mankind has been very dramatic in these 6 months. So to that extent, when you said, it is paradoxically turned out to be a very big catalyst. In my opinion, it has been amazing from that point of view. Let's not talk about the many things which could have not happened, but those for another occasion.
I think an important aspect you talked about, not letting a crisis go waste. One of the biggest opportunity for India is to actually, become an industrial powerhouse right now. From being just an IT back office, it's a big opportunity for us. But how do you see a fully digitized industrial landscape emerging out of India that can be actually globally competitive as well?
So as you know that there is an index which comes out every year of where do you stand as a country in digital competitiveness. India is amongst the top 50. Okay, now is that something to be proud of? In terms of opportunity, I think we have a way to go. In terms of our ability to reach there, we have a great opportunity. So really, we have infrastructure. I think digital infrastructure surprisingly has been made available by the government and by multiple other agencies in a surprisingly faster manner than has been our ability to adopt that infrastructure. Uh, Government actually has played a very important and an accelerative role, I should say, through their policies. I mean, every day something new gets announced. The ones which I love to talk about is Arogya Setu. I mean, what apps take years and years to do, Arogya Setu achieved it in a matter of days, right? It reached 100 million downloads, I think, in a record time or some such thing. Now, so definitely infrastructure-wise, government policy-wise, India is getting better and better equipped every day. Better and better equipped every day. There are some last mile gaps which will get filled, and there are enough agencies which are at work to make that happen. Mobile connectivity has a very major role to play. However, the areas where I think the gaps exist for MSMEs who are one of the major contributors to the economy is number one in awareness, because they are not aware of what digital transformation can do. So second is access to resources. They don't have perhaps access to as many resources. Number three are skills. I am a strong believer of the fact that Digital India movement, while it would have provided a great acceleration, Digital India is not going to happen without digital Indians. So Indians have to become digital in the way they think. Digital has to become a meta part of our daily life. It's very much like a small child which is born, if you hand over a mobile phone, most probably in about 1 or 2 months' time without any instruction, anyway, communication otherwise is difficult, will be able to use a mobile phone. We do see 6-month-olds and 1-year-olds very habitually switching to a mobile phone. I think that's the way we have to adapt ourselves to digital technologies, number one. Number two, our educational system has to undergo a major reform process, and therefore the national education policy is a welcome step in that. Last, but so you have digital skills, you have digital infrastructure, you have get resources from the government. The other is the mindset. So that is adoption. You need some hand holding to make sure that you can now adopt. You know, one is the horse, one is the water. So do we have the horse? Do we have the water? Do we have enough water? We get the horse to the water, but the horse has to drink the water by a mindset. And that, I think, is some of the gaps. But I'm extremely optimistic about the fact that these are very much in the realm of possibility.
Now, you yourself are a co-chair of CII Tata Communications Centre for Digital Transformation. So, with the help of this center, how are you trying to enable MSMEs and even large enterprises to an extent in their digital transformation journey?
Okay, so like you said, MSMEs have a very major role to play in making India happen. And right now, making India happen is the $5 trillion economy dream that all of us have, correct? It's a good milestone to chase, and it's possible. And I would like to say that one of the catalyzing impact of the pandemic has been it has become $5 trillion more visible. It has become make it more visible because we realize that leveraging digital technologies, we can accelerate our way there. And I think that the role which MSMEs have to play the 6.3 crore MSMEs. I think last month only there was a detailed report, annual report of Department of MSMEs. 6.3 crores equally spread between manufacturing, services, and trade. Those are the three areas where equally spread between rural and urban, correct? 80-20 on males and females, right? 20% of MSMEs are run by females, which is interesting. Of course, it also shows us there is way to go. Now, given this, their ability to adopt digital transformation, they contribute, by the way, 40% to the exports of the country. Their ability to adopt digital transformation, if we could accelerate that, they will be able to play a larger role in the global economy. So Center for Digital Transformation was set up not only for MSMEs, even for large enterprises. It's to service everybody. But here, number one, MSMEs get an opportunity to learn from the experiences of the large players. They get to understand what are some of the practices which work and what they should not, because their risk-taking ability is low, though the risk-taking appetite is high, correct? So appetite is high, but ability is low. So how do we de-risk the process? How do we shorten their learning curves? How do we make sure that they adopt things which they can get going with quickly, and after that apply their own innovative practice? All these put together is what forms Center for Digital Transformation. So we have very strong industry participants, digital infrastructure, connectivity, right? Tata Communications. We have strong digital infrastructure, which is end equipment as well as servers, which is Dell, right? We have cloud connectivity. We need cyber security, and we need skills development, and then obviously awareness. So there are four areas which the center works on. One is cause mass awareness. So I thank the pandemic for helping us with that process. Okay, we recently did a seminar or a conference, and we had more than 1,300 or something participants. Very difficult to imagine that in a physical environment. Okay. The second is skilling, because you become aware but you don't have the skills, then you have a gap. So large number of skilling programs and a skilling framework. Then obviously cybersecurity, because once you adopt the systems, then you will need secure information frameworks. However, the most important thing, which I think keeps great excitement in this center, is the DX framework. The framework which allows you, a maturity framework, which allows you to, it's like your GPS. It tells you where you are, where do you have to go, and what is the path to that journey. So it helps you assess from time to time where you are and where you should be going. And that has become increasingly popular. And then every year we encourage people to measure themselves and say what progress have they made over the last couple of years, and then we acknowledge some of those innovative ideas and the ways by which they have carried it forward. So it's been a very exciting journey at the Center for Digital Transformation.
That's a very important thing because most of the MSMEs in India are highly innovative, but something that they lack is the kind of framework that you talked about, and this framework would just let them know where they stand and help them in their overall transformation journey. Now, with that, I would like to talk to you about the Transformation Summit and Awards 2020 that is coming up soon. So what's going to be different this time around, and why should companies really register for the same?
So, this is the third summit that we are doing this time, a second large summit, if I may use the word. And in this summit, the thing which people really love to come for is to share experiences, right? So therefore, more participants, more companies which are presenting their frameworks and their journeys for a jury to evaluate and then acknowledge them, correct, and award them, right? That becomes a centerpiece. However, there are areas that we identify in each summit which will either lead to a new practice or will lead to an increased participation by the organizations who are the industry members. So we do get participation from government. So government is a strong, visible partner. Industry, CII's basic strength is its strong industry base and the reach across the country, and that's across the country. The third is technology organizations and technology gurus, as well as practitioners who practiced digital transformation to come and share their experiences. So this year, amongst the new things that we are looking at is the whole area of IoT. Obviously, awards will remain, and awards and the jury and the way awards happen, because it's not you don't go there for the award. The fact is that you will hear 30 others, and you will also know you'll see their cases being presented to the jury. So you participate in that, and in that you learn a lot. It's a very interesting platform. 3rd to 6th November is when we will be doing that. So on 3rd and 4th, we have the presentations to the jury, which are very interesting. And on 5th and 6th, we have some keynotes, and this time's keynotes will be on in the area of healthcare, because healthcare and education are two forgotten subjects. There is obviously an inclusion issue, because there is a discussion about digital divide. I also say that it is improved digital reach, but it is also increased digital divide. So a few things which were more possible have now become less possible, but a few things which were not possible are now increased because of improved digital reach. So definitely, how do we make sure that the divide issues get handled through the inclusion process? And then the most important change which has taken place is workplace. The whole idea of workplace has changed. And I think this center is an ideal platform to discuss what are the changes in the workplace and what are some of the best experiences. And then new opportunity identification of what are the new businesses which are emerging. And then the usual of new technologies, emerging technologies. We do have some interesting sessions on connected automobiles. So that is another issue that will come up, all coming from making IoT more mainstream, the Internet of Things more mainstream.
Now, other than this, what are the other initiatives of the center, if you can talk about, and what can we look forward to as we adapt to the new normal?
So I think, first of all, is this whole workplace issue. The chapter has just opened up. You are reading the first few pages of a 500-page book, And the balance 495 pages are still to be written. So those have to, so they will be written and read. So therefore, our job is to make sure that we capture them. And so workplace is a very, very important area to evaluate. And then in workplace, also in industrial workplace, IoT, or even in social workplace, IoT. IoT has a very, very major role to play. We would like to examine and take advantage of clusters which CII has so popularly introduced and is well known for across the world for how clusters happen for the growth of MSME sector. So we want to use clusters for digital transformation. That's an ongoing subject. It has to evolve into a program. Health and education are again discussion subjects, and what we have to see is what is it that Center for Digital Transformation will do differently, because there are many agencies at work. So in digital transformation, in this center, we also see how do we obviously have a little bit of overlap with other activities, because 100 or 1,000 flowers bloom is better than just one blooming. Even besides that, I think it is important that it maintains its distinctive focus. And distinctive focus is to help people through the journey where they started to where they have to go and where they are on the way. So I think that focus will remain in coming times as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that, Mr. Thadani. It was wonderful talking to you as always.
Okay, Varun, thank you very much. Nice speaking with you. Your questions were very interesting. More about this in the DX Summit on November 3 to 6, and I hope we'll get to see you and all your colleagues amongst others.
Looking forward.
Okay.